We are back for our book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. In today's video, we are going to cover final thoughts. I would like to share some final thoughts with you. The main reason I wrote this book and the reason it has remained a bestseller since 2000 was to share insights into how increased financial intelligence can be used to solve many of life's common problems. Without financial training, we all too often use the standard formula to get through life: work hard, save, borrow, and pay expenses, taxes. Today, more than ever, we need better information. I use the following story as an example of a financial problem that confronts many young families today. How do you afford a good education for your children and provide for your own retirement? It requires using financial intelligence instead of work hard. A friend of mine was gripping one day about how hard it was to save money for his four children's college education. He was putting $300 away in a college fund each month and had too far accumulated about $12,000. He had about 12 more years to save for college since his oldest child was then 6 years old. At the time, the real estate market in Phoenix was terrible. People were buying houses away. People were giving houses away. I suggested my friend to that he buy a house with some of the money in his college fund. The idea integrated him and we began to discuss the possibility. His primary concern was that he did not have credit with the bank to buy another house since he was so overextended. I assured him that there were another ways to finance a property rather than through the bank. We looked for a house for 2 weeks, a house then that would fit all our criteria. There were plenty to choose from, so shopping was fun. Finally, we found a three-bedroom, two-bath home in a prime neighborhood. The owner had been downsized and needed to sell that day because he and his family were moving to California, where another job awaited the governor. Owner wanted 102k dollar, but we offered only $79,000. He took it immediately and agreed to carry back the loan with the 10% down payment. All my friend had to come up with $7,900. As soon as the owner moved, my friend put the house up for rent. After all expenses were paid, including the mortgage, he put about $125 in his pocket each month. His plan was to keep the house for 12 years and let the mortgage get paid down faster by applying the extra $125 to the principal each month. We figured that in 12 years, a large portion of mortgage would be paid off and he could possibly be clearing $800 a month by the time his first child went to college. He could also sell the house if it had appreciated in value. 3 years later, the real estate market greatly improved in Phoenix and he was offered $156,000 for the same house by the tenant who lived in. Again, he asked me what I thought. I advised that he sell it using a 1030 tax deferred exchange. Suddenly, he had nearly $80,000 to operate with. I called another friend in Austin, Texas, then who moved with this tax deferred capital gain into a mini storage facility. Within 3 months, he began receiving checks for a little less than $1,000 a month, which he then poured back into the college fund. A couple of years later, the mini warehouse sold and they received a check of nearly $330k as proceed from the sale. He rolled those funds into a new project that would now generate over $3,000 in a month in income. Again, going into the college fund, he is now very confident that his goal will be met easily. He only took $7,900 to start, and little financial intelligence, his children will be able to afford the education they want, and he will then use the underlying asset wrapped in his legal entity to pay for his retirement. As a result of his successful investment strategy, he will be able to retire early. Thank you for reading this book. I hope it has provided some insights into utilizing the power of money to survive, work for you. Today, we need greater financial intelligence to simply survive. The idea that it takes money to money is that thinking of financial unsophisticated people. It does not mean that they are not intelligent, they have simply not learned the science of money making. Money is only an idea. If you want more money, simply change your thinking. Every self-made person started small with an idea and then turned it into something big. The same applies to investing. It takes only a few dollars to start and grow it into something big. I met so many people who spend their lives chasing the big deal, or trying to amass a lot of money to get into a big deal. But to me, that is foolish. Too often, I have seen unsophisticated investors put their large nest egg into one deal and lose most of it rapidly. They may have been good workers, but they were not good investors. Education and wisdom about money are important. Start early, buy a book, go to a seminar, practice, start small. I turned $5,000 cash into $1 million asset, producing $5,000 a month cash flow in less than 6 years because I started learning as a kid. I encouraged you to learn because it's not that hard. In fact, it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. I think I have made my message clear. It's what in it your head that determines what is in your hands. Money is only an idea. There is a great book called Think and Grow Rich. The title is not Work Hard and Grow Rich. Learn to have money. Hard work for you. Your life will be easier and happier. Today, don't play it safe, play it smart. We have completed our book Think and Grow Rich in the last or in the previous playlist. You can also check that. The three incomes in the world of accounting. There are three different types of income: ordinary, earned, portfolio, passive. When my poor dad said to me, "Go to school, good, get good grades, and find a safe, secure job," he was recommending I work for earned income. When my rich dad said the rich don't work for money, they have their money work for them, he was talking about his passive income and portfolio income. Passive income in most cases is income derived from estate, real estate investment. Portfolio income is income derived from paper assets such as stocks and bonds. Portfolio income is the income that makes Bill Gates the richest man in the world, not earned income. Rich Dad used to say the key to becoming wealthy is the ability to convert earned income into passive income or portfolio income as quickly as possible. He would say taxes are highest on earned income, the less taxed income is passive income. That is more reason. Another reason why you want your money working hard for you. The government taxes the income you work hard for more than the income your money works hard for. In my second book, Rich Dad's Cash Flow Quadrant, I explain the four different types of people who make up the world of business. They are ESBI: employee, self employed, business owner, and investor. Most people go to school to learn to be an E or an S. The cash flow quadrant is written about the core difference of these four types and how people can change their quadrant. In fact, most of our products are created for people in the B and I quadrant. In Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, book number 3 in the Rich Dad series, I go into more detail on the importance of converting earned income into passive and portfolio income. Rich Dad used to say all a real investor does is convert earned income into passive and portfolio income. If you know what you are doing, investing is not risky, it's just common sense. Fast forward to today, Mission Financial Education, new book in the Rich Dad series that you may enjoy. Fake Second Chance: Why the Rich Are Getting Richer, More Important Than Money. The key to financial freedom. The key to financial freedom and great wealth is a person's ability to convert earned income into passive and or portfolio income. My rich dad spent a lot of time teaching Mike and me this skill. Having this ability is the reason Kim and I are financially free. Never needed to work again. We continue to work because we choose to. Today, we own a real estate investment company for passive income and participate in private placements and initial public offerings of stocks for portfolio income. We also went back to work to build a financial education company so that we can continue to create and publish books and games. All of our education products are created to teach the same skills my rich dad taught to me: the skills of converting earned income into passive and portfolio income. The games we created are important because they teach what the book cannot teach. For example, you could never learn to ride a bicycle by only reading a book. Or cash flow games for adults and cash flow for kids games are designed to teach players the basic investment skills of converting earned income into passive and portfolio income. They also teach the principles of accounting and financial literacy. These games are the only educational products in the world that teach people all of these skills simultaneously. Cashflow 202 is the advanced version of Cashflow 101 and requires a game board from 101 as well as full understanding of 101 before it can be played. Cashflow 101 and Cashflow for Kids teach the principle of fundamental investing. Cashflow 202 teaches the principle of technical investing. Technical investing involves advanced trading techniques such as short selling, call option, and put option and traders. You can play cash flow on the web at www.richtrade.com and learn to convert earned income into passive and or portfolio income. A person who understands these advanced techniques is able to make money when the market goes up as well as when the market comes down. As my rich dad would say, a real investor makes money in an up market and a down market. That is why they make so much money. One of the reason they make more money is simply because they have more self-confidence. Rich dad would say they have more self-confidence because they are less afraid of losing. In other words, the average investor does not make as much money because they are afraid of losing money. The average investor does not know how to protect themselves from losses, and that is what Cashflow 202 teaches. Average investor think investing is risky because they have not been formally trained to be professional investors. As Warren Buffett, America's richest investor, say, risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. My board games teach the simple basics of fundamental investing and technical investing. While people are having fun, I occasionally hear someone say your educational games are expensive, which poses the question of return of investment or the value return for the price paid. I nod my head and reply, yes, they may be expensive, especially when compared to entertainment board games. But my games are not as expensive as college education. Working hard all your life or for earned income and paying excessive taxes and then living in terror of losing all of your money in the investment markets. When someone walks away mumbling about the price, I can hear my rich dad saying, if you want to be rich, you must know what kind of income to work hard for and how to keep it, how to protect it from loss. That is key to great wealth. Rich dad would also say, if you do not understand the differences in these income and do not learn skills on how to acquire and protect those incomes, you will probably spend your life earning less than you could and working harder than you should. My poor dad thought a good education, a good job, and years of hard work were all you need to be successful. My rich dad also thought a good education was important, but to him it was also important that Mike and I know the differences in the three income and what kind of income to work hard for. To him, that was basic financial education, knowing the differences in the three income and learning the investment skill of how to acquire the great different income is the basic education for anyone who strives to acquire great wealth and achieve financial freedom, a special kind of freedom that only a few will ever know. As Rich Dad states in lesson number one, the rich do not work for money, they know how to have money work hard for them. Rich Dad said ordinary earned income is money you work for, and passive and portfolio income is money working for you. Knowing that little difference has been significant in my life, or as Robert Frost ended his poem, and that has made all the difference. The road not taken. उसकी line है take action. All of you were given two great gifts, your mind and your time. It is up to you to do what you please with both. With each dollar bill that enters your hand, you and only you have the power to determine your destiny. Spend it foolishly, and you choose to be poor. Spend it on the liabilities, and you join the middle class. Invest in your mind and learn how to acquire assets. You will be choosing wealth as well as goal and your future. The choice is yours and only yours. Every dollar, every day, with every dollar, you decide to be rich, poor, or middle class. Choose to share this knowledge with your children, and you choose to prepare them for the world that awaits. No one will else. You and your children's future will be determined by choices you make today, not tomorrow. I wish you great wealth and much happiness with this fabulous gift called life. Robert Kiyosaki. Study session final thoughts. Chapter summary. The main reason Robert wrote this book was to share him insights into how increased financial intelligence can be used to solve many of the life's common problems. He shares an example of how a friend worried about being able to save enough money for his children's college education, was able to turn an initial $7,900 down payment in a house in Phoenix into a project. A few years later, they generate $3,000 a month in income. It took just a little money to start, and financial intelligence, education, and wisdom about money are important. Start early, buy a book, go to a seminar, practice, start small. It's what is in your hand that determines what is in your hands. Money is only an idea. In the world of accounting, there are three kinds of income: ordinary, earned, portfolio, and passive. Passive income, in most cases, income derived from real estate investment. Portfolio income is income derived from paper assets such as stocks and bonds. Taxed are highest on earned income and lowest on passive. As Rich Dad would say, the government taxes the income you work hard for more than the income your money works hard for. In Robert's second book, Rich Dad's Cash Flow Quadrant, he explains the four different types of people who make up the business of world of business. E employee, S self-employed, B business owner, and I investor, and how people can change their quadrant. In Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, book number 3 is the Rich Dad series. Robert goes into more detail on the importance of converting earned income into passive and portfolio income. Robert and Kim's board games continue this education as well as teaching what books cannot. The cash flow games for adults and cash flow for kids are designed to teach each player the basic investment skill of converting earned income into passive and portfolio income. They also teach the principles of accounting and financial literacy, knowing the differences in the three income and learning the investment skills of how to acquire the different income is basic education for anyone who strives to acquire great wealth and achieve financial freedom, a special kind of freedom that only a few will ever know. All of you were given two great gifts, your mind and your time. It is up to you to do what you please with both. With each dollar bill that enters your hand, you and only you have the power to determine your destiny. Every day, with every dollar, you decide to be rich, poor, or middle class. Choose to share this knowledge with your children, and you choose to prepare them for the world that awaits. Additional questions. What's the first thing you are going to do when you finish this guide? What are you waiting for? About the author? Should I do this? Okay, start. Best known as the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, the hashtag one personal finance book of all time, Robert Kiyosaki has challenged the way tens of millions of people around the world think about money. He is an entrepreneur, educator, and investor who believes the world needs more entrepreneurs who will create jobs. With perspectives of money and investing that often contradict conventional wisdom, Robert has earned an international reputation for straight talks, irreverence, and courage. Has become a passionate and outspoken advocate for financial education. Robert and Kim Kiyosaki are founders of the Rich Dad Company, a financial educational company, and creators of cash flow games. Robert has been heralded as a visionary who has a gift for simplifying complex ideas related to money, investing, finance, and economies, and has shared his personal journey to financial freedom in ways that resonate with audiences of all ages and backgrounds. His core principles and messages like "Your house is not an asset and invest for cash flow" and "Savers are losers" ignited a firestorm of criticism and ridicule. Over the past 2 decades, his teaching and philosophies have played out on the world economic stages in ways that have been both unsettling and prophetic. His point of view is that old advice, go to school, get a good job, save money, get out of debt, invest for the long term, and diversify, has become obsolete advice in today's fast paced information age. His rich dad philosophies and message challenges the status quo. His teaching encouraged people to become financially educated and to take an active role in investing for their future. The author of Rich Dad, author of 25 books, including the international blockbuster Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert has been a featured guest with media outlets in these, and his books have topped international bestseller list of 2 decades. He continued to teach and inspire audiences around the world. Okay, to learn more, visit richdad.com. Acknowledgement. How does a person say thank you when there are so many people to thank? Obviously, this book is a thank you to my two fathers who were powerful role models and to my mom who taught me love and kindness. The person most responsible for this belonging is reality is Kim. She has been a strong and steady force on this journey, a treasured partner in business and in life. BDE by 2. And we have completed this book. Let's meet in your next video. It's a surprise for you all. Thank you. Bye bye.